Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, heart racing, breath short, wondering why? Or maybe you've gone to bed feeling fine, only to wake up feeling more tired than when you laid down. After 70, sleep is no longer just sleep. It's a delicate time when your heart slows, your body heals, your brain clears. But it's also a time when dangerous habits can quietly sneak in, draining your energy, weakening your organs, and in the worst cases, leading to events that could have been prevented. Today, I want to have a real conversation. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Because there are 4 common bedtime habits that seniors unknowingly follow every day, routines that feel harmless, but are quietly putting their lives at risk. And if you're watching this now, it means you're the kind of person who wants to live better, not just longer. That's the kind of elderly wisdom we respect most. The courage to keep learning, even in your 70s or 80s. Let's begin with the first habit. It's one of the most overlooked, and one of the most dangerous. Eating heavy meals too close to bedtime. Now, maybe you've done this for years. A late dinner. A slice of cake with tea. Or maybe a big bowl of pasta while watching your favorite show in the evening. It seems harmless, right? But as we age, our bodies change. Digestion slows. Stomach acid rises. Blood sugar becomes harder to control. And what once felt like comfort becomes risk. When you eat a large or greasy meal right before lying down, your stomach doesn't get a chance to properly process the food. Acid creeps up into your esophagus. Your heart rate stays high. Your sleep becomes shallow and broken. But it goes deeper than that. Studies from the American Heart Association have shown that seniors, who frequently eat late at night, are at higher risk for nocturnal heart attacks, silent strokes, sudden blood pressure spikes, disrupted insulin regulation, all of which can happen while you sleep, without warning. Imagine this. Frank, 74, had a nightly habit. He loved warming up leftovers around 9 p.m., usually rice and pork, maybe a glass of milk, sometimes even dessert. He would eat, then go to bed by 10. Over the years, he noticed he started waking up feeling bloated. Then came the heartburn. Then came the gasping wake-ups in the middle of the night. Doctors later told him he had developed sleep apnea made worse by reflux, a condition that was slowly damaging his heart and lungs, without him realizing it. That's not rare. That's reality. And it's preventable. Here's something we heard from a nurse who worked in a retirement facility for over 30 years. She said, "I've seen more 3 a.m. emergencies caused by late night eating than by falls. Seniors just don't know how dangerous it can be." So what's the fix? Try finishing your last proper meal at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. If you really need a snack later in the evening, choose something light. A banana. A few almonds. A small bowl of oatmeal. Warm chamomile tea. And don't lie down immediately after eating. Sit up. Let gravity help you digest. This one simple change can reduce your risk of nighttime complications by over 60%, according to recent studies in senior health journals. Now, let's talk about the second bedtime habit, one that even health-conscious seniors get wrong. Drinking too much water before bed. Wait, what? Isn't hydration important? Yes. Absolutely. But like everything in life, it's about timing. You see, after 70, your bladder weakens, your kidneys work slower, and your body becomes more sensitive to fluid intake, especially in the evening. If you drink a large glass of water, or even juice or tea, just before bed, here's what might happen. You wake up 2-3 times to use the bathroom. Your sleep cycle breaks. Your brain doesn't reach deep REM sleep. Your blood pressure becomes erratic. And worst of all, you increase your risk of falling. Let me tell you about Eleanor, 79. Every night, she made herself a full mug of herbal tea. "It helps me relax," she said. But almost every night around 2 a.m., she'd get up, half asleep, shuffle to the bathroom in the dark. One night, she didn't make it. She fainted from what doctors call postural hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure from standing up too fast. She hit the tile floor. Broken hip. Concussion. 3 months in rehab. And all because she was overhydrating at the wrong time. That's not to say don't drink water. But drink smarter. Here's some elderly wisdom passed down from a 93-year-old gentleman in our Elderly Reflections community. I drink water like the sun rises, more in the morning, less as the day sets. Perfect advice. Here's a better routine. Drink a full glass of water after waking. Stay hydrated through lunch and early afternoon. After 6 p.m., cut back. Sip, don't gulp. Avoid diuretics like caffeine or alcohol late in the day. And if you take medications that make you urinate more, ask your doctor if you can take them earlier in the day. Because the less you have to get up at night, the safer and more restful your sleep will be. Now take a breath for a moment. We've talked about food. We've talked about water. 2 things that are meant to nourish you, but that can quietly harm you if you're not mindful. That's the thing about senior health, it's not about doing more. It's about doing things smarter. With intention. With clarity. With the wisdom you've earned through years of living. So ask yourself tonight. What do I usually eat before bed? Do I feel heavy or restless when I lie down? How many times am I waking up to use the bathroom? Am I setting myself up to heal or to struggle while I sleep? These aren't small questions. They're life-changing reflections. And the fact that you're here, watching this, tells me something powerful. You're still learning. Still improving. Still fighting for the healthiest version of yourself. That's not weakness. That's motivation. That's inspiration. That's what keeps you sharp and alive. And that's why we say again and again on this channel. The older you get, the smarter your habits must become. Because life lessons from the elderly have taught us one truth above all others: it's never too late. To do better. To sleep deeper. To live longer. There's something deeply peaceful about lying in bed at night. The house is quiet. The lights are off. Your body is still. And in that stillness, something beautiful can happen. Your body begins to repair itself. Your mind begins to restore. Your heart slows, your lungs relax. But that restoration only happens if you've set the right environment. And one of the most dangerous bedtime mistakes seniors make has nothing to do with food or drink. It's about temperature. Specifically, sleeping in a room that's too warm. Now, I get it. Nobody wants to feel cold at night. Many older adults tend to feel chilly more easily. So it becomes habit. Crank the thermostat up, wear heavy pajamas, pile on thick blankets. It feels comforting. But for your heart, your brain, and your immune system, it's a hidden threat. You see, as we age, our ability to regulate internal temperature weakens. Your body doesn't cool down as quickly. You don't sweat as effectively. And when your bedroom is too warm, your heart has to work harder to bring your body back into balance, especially while you're asleep. This added strain can trigger elevated nighttime blood pressure, dehydration, poor oxygen flow, an increased risk of stroke or heart attack while sleeping. Frankly, this isn't something most seniors are ever told. One woman from our Elderly Reflections community, Helen, 82, shared this. I used to keep my room at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, with 2 blankets. Then my doctor told me it was why I kept waking up sweaty and lightheaded. I had no idea warmth could hurt the heart. Helen had developed mild nocturnal hypertension, a condition where blood pressure spikes at night because the body is working too hard to stay cool. And that's not even touching on the quality of sleep. Warm rooms disrupt deep sleep. Your brain needs to drop by 1-2 degrees Celsius to enter restorative REM cycles. If the room is too warm, your brain literally can't reach the healing stages of sleep, and over time, this leads to memory fog, poor mood, and faster cognitive aging. So what's the ideal sleep temperature for seniors? Most experts agree. 60-67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15-19 degrees Celsius, is the sweet spot for optimal sleep. Yes, it might feel chilly at first, but your body will thank you. Instead of heavy, heat-trapping blankets, try layering with breathable cotton sheets. Use a lightweight comforter. Wear soft, moisture-wicking sleepwear. And if you need extra warmth, try a heated blanket on low setting that turns off automatically after an hour. Also, open a window if weather allows. Or use a small fan to circulate air, not just for cooling, but to help remove indoor air toxins that can build up and disrupt breathing. Small changes, big difference. That brings us to the final bedtime habit, the one most seniors don't think twice about. Sleeping in the wrong position. It seems harmless, right? You lie down the way you always have. Maybe on your back. Maybe curled up. You've done it for years. It's comfortable. But here's the truth. After 70, the way you sleep directly impacts your circulation, your breathing, your digestion, and even your heart. Let's talk about sleeping on your back. It feels neutral. But for many seniors, it's risky. Why? When you lie flat, gravity pulls your tongue and throat muscles backward, narrowing your airway. This increases the chance of sleep apnea, a dangerous condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during the night. Untreated sleep apnea increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, cognitive decline, and sudden cardiac events during sleep. One man, Robert, 76, had no idea. He thought his snoring was just annoying. But his wife noticed he sometimes stopped breathing for a few seconds. He finally did a sleep test and was diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. His sleeping position was making it worse. He switched to side sleeping, and within weeks, his sleep improved, his blood pressure dropped, and his memory became sharper. So, what's the safest sleeping position for seniors? On your left side. Yes, left side. Here's why. It improves circulation, especially for those with heart conditions. It reduces acid reflux, a common issue for older adults. It allows your body to naturally drain lymph fluids, supporting immune health. It opens airways, helping prevent snoring and breathing interruptions. Compare that to right side sleeping, which puts pressure on the heart, or back sleeping, which can cause airway collapse. Sleeping on your left side is like giving your body a gentle assist through the night. But what if you're not used to it? Start small. Use a body pillow to support your upper leg and prevent rolling onto your back. Place a small pillow behind your back for support. Keep your knees slightly bent to reduce lower back strain. And elevate your head slightly with a supportive pillow. This helps keep your airways open and reduces neck pain. Another tip from our life lessons from the elderly archive. You don't need the perfect sleep position. You just need the position that lets your body rest without fighting. Now pause with me for a moment. Think back to the 4 habits we've uncovered so far. First, heavy meals before bed. Second, drinking too much liquid late in the evening. Third, sleeping in a room that's too warm. Fourth, sleeping in a position that restricts your breath or circulation. They sound simple. But for seniors over 70, they are powerful. Because small habits repeated nightly can shape your heart, your brain, your balance, your future. And the best part? Every one of these habits is something you can change, starting tonight. So I want to ask you, what time are you having your last meal? Are you drinking too much before bed without realizing it? Is your room set up for cool, deep sleep, or cozy but dangerous heat? And how are you positioning your body for rest? Are you helping your heart breathe easier, or making it work harder? These questions aren't just for doctors. They're for you. Because your choices are what build your longevity. That's the kind of elderly wisdom we cherish, the strength to look inward, the courage to adjust, and the clarity to act. And here's one final quote for motivation from a viewer in our community, age 87. Every night I go to bed, I ask myself, did I give my body peace today, or pressure? I sleep best when I know I chose peace. That's it. That's the message. Choose peace. Create conditions that let your body rest, recover, and rebuild. Because sleep is not the end of your day. It's the beginning of your healing. There's something powerful about realizing that your habits still shape your future, even after 70. For many years, society whispered the same lie. You're too old to change. You've already lived your life. As long as you're not in pain, you're fine. But you and I both know that's not true. Because this stage of life isn't the end. It's a new beginning. A time to live wiser, gentler, and more in tune with what your body truly needs. And that's what makes this conversation so important. When we talked about these 4 bedtime habits, late eating, overhydrating, too much warmth, and poor sleeping position, we weren't talking about rules. We were talking about self-respect. About listening to your body's quiet voice. And honoring it. You've spent decades caring for others. Raising children. Building homes. Working jobs. Helping friends. But this season? This is the time to care for yourself, with wisdom, not fear. So I want to slow down here, and speak to you directly. Not as an expert. Not as a channel host. But as someone who believes in you. As someone who has read hundreds of elderly reflections, from people just like you, who chose to take control of their health, and found something beautiful on the other side. Let me share one of those stories. Margaret was 81 when she wrote to us. She said she used to wake up 4 or 5 times every night. She was always tired. Moody. Dizzy when standing. But she thought it was normal. She thought, I'm just getting old. Then one day, her granddaughter showed her one of our videos. She started making small changes. Eating dinner earlier. Drinking less at night. Cracking her window open, even in winter. Turning to her left when lying down. Within 3 weeks, she said, I slept through the night for the first time in years. I cried in the morning. Not because I was sad, because I felt alive again. That's the kind of elderly wisdom that no doctor can prescribe. It comes from experience, courage, and choice. And you have that same power. So let's step back for a moment. What is sleep, really? Sleep is not just rest. It's where healing happens. It's when your heart gets a break. Your brain files memories. Your immune system resets. Your skin repairs. Your cells cleanse themselves of toxins. Your body becomes new again. But only if you let it. Only if you stop interrupting that sacred process with habits that go against your biology. And I know, it's not always easy to change habits, especially ones we've followed for decades. But it's not about perfection. It's about intention. Maybe tonight, you don't change everything. But maybe you eat dinner a little earlier. Maybe you drink 1 less glass before bed. Maybe you open your window just a crack. Maybe you roll gently to your left, place your hand on your chest, and whisper to yourself, this is how I love my body tonight. That is the kind of motivation we believe in. Not fear. Not shame. Just small, steady steps toward peace. And if you're someone who has struggled to sleep, maybe for months, maybe for years, I want to say this clearly. You're not broken. You're not weak. Your body is not too old to change. It just needs a little help. A little kindness. A little guidance. And that's what we're here for. We've built this community not just around senior health, but around hope. Hope that life after 70 can be fuller, richer, softer, wiser. Hope that small adjustments bring big transformation. So if this video spoke to you, even a little, I want to invite you to do something simple before you go to sleep tonight. Sit on the edge of your bed. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep, slow breaths. And ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that's no longer helping me? What can I release tonight, so my body can rest deeper? What's one thing I'll try tomorrow, just to feel a little stronger? That, my friend, is where healing begins. Not in pills. not in clinics, but in questions asked honestly by someone who still cares deeply about their future. You are that someone. And if no one has told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not done growing. You are still becoming. And that's what makes your story, your presence here, so inspiring. This channel exists because of you. Because of your willingness to keep learning. Because of your elderly reflections and shared life lessons. Because of your belief that life isn't measured only in years, but in awareness, and peace, and purpose. So please, if you found even one helpful idea in this video, try it tonight. Leave a comment below and share your experience. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because we're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming. And if you know someone, another senior, a parent, a friend, who struggles with sleep or energy or rest, share this video with them. You never know whose life a small piece of wisdom might touch. We'll close with a quote from one of our longtime viewers, 91 years old. I used to think sleep was just something that happened. Now I know, it's a gift I give myself. And I protect it like gold. So tonight, give yourself that gift. Rest well. Rest wisely. And keep choosing life, one quiet habit at a time. We're with you, always. Good night.